John Saunders alongside of Jesse Palmer. And right now, Oregon, for all intents and purposes, it plays its way into the national championship game. And oh, by the way, touchdown at the end for Oregon State. This was a dominating performance.
They score 37 points, and people are going to look at this Oregon team and wonder, what's wrong? Because they averaged 51 points a game. It's the ultimate compliment if you're Chip Kelly in the Oregon Ducks. And certainly give a lot of credit to Oregon's defense in this game. They were able to force 4 turnovers that got the football back for the offense. It was just another day at the office for Darren Thomas and company, running the football for 346 yards today. This team puts so much pressure on their opponents week in, week out. With their ability to play up tempo, they get up on you quick. You force the opposition to drive 10, 12, 14 plays just to score points. And when they do get in the red zone, you have to score touchdowns. You cannot kick field goals and expect to beat this Oregon team. It's a 12-game winning streak now for Oregon with today's win. That's a school record. And they're the first team since 2006 to go undefeated in conference play in the Pac-10. Congratulations to Chip Kelly and the Oregon Ducks, very deserving of playing in the BCS National Championship game.
That last team to do that, of course, USC, and USC had a bit of a dynasty. Wouldn't be surprised if Chip Kelly can do exactly the same thing. So the question would be, could Auburn do the same thing and pretty much assure themselves a trip to the national championship as they played in the SEC championship game against South Carolina? Cam Newton, plenty of time, finds Ontario McCaleb for a 12-yard touchdown.
Cam Newton has not thrown an incompletion on the opening drive of any game this season. That is remarkable.
This is even more remarkable. I mean, he just bulls his way into the end zone. He can't stop him once he gets his momentum going, 14-7. And then look at this. A Hail Mary near the end of the half. Back the ball down.
It's like Jacksonville versus the Houston Texans a few weeks ago in the NFL. Dante Holloway, the safety, tips the ball up in the air, which is exactly what the offense wants. Cam Newton all smiles.
Darvin Adams pulls it in, and then Devontae Holloman, as you said, with the tip, and then Newton in the shotgun takes the snap and barrels in from a yard out. So Auburn does exactly what Oregon did. They go in and they dominate this. And folks at TCU, we love you. You're in the number 3 position. You're undefeated at 12-0. But with what Auburn did and what Oregon did, yeah, I think there's no doubt who the 2 best teams in the country are.
I think when you talk about Auburn, you talk about unbelievable resiliency. In 8 of their 12 wins heading into today's game, they were trailing at some point, and they had to come back. 4 times they were down by double digits. That's the first time that's happened in Auburn school history. But with a win today, that will be their 6th win on the season versus a team currently ranked in the top 25. They're led by the best player in college football. Cam Newton came into the game with 43 touchdowns responsible for. That was more than 69 football bowl subdivision teams around the country. You can't say too much else about this Auburn Tiger football, and if that's the matchup, Oregon-Auburn, what a game.
You know who can say more? LaMichael James, and he's standing by with our Aaron Andrews.
You guys pride yourself on the fact you had focus. You wouldn't look ahead. What does it feel like to finally look ahead to the national championship now?
It feels great. I mean, Oregon State's a great team. I mean, those guys came out fighting, but, you know, Coach Kelly said you got to finish games, and we really finished this game. I mean, I just feel wonderful, and, I mean, we worked so hard throughout the offseason and throughout the summer for this, and anything less than this would be a disappointment for us.
Darren, let me ask you, what made this team so special this year?
Just the brotherhood of everybody out here. We all love each other. We did it for a reason. I just want to say I love the Ducks and all the fans that came out, and we ain't done yet.
No, you're not. And with everything you've been through this year, what would it mean to you personally to end your season on such a high note in Glendale?
It would mean everything, like I said before. I mean, we really work hard throughout the offseason. I mean, anything less than the national championship is disappointment for us. I mean, day in and day out, we just go out here and grind it out, and nobody really gave us a chance. Who would have thought we would be here today, you know, last year or in the winter, you know? So we really just work hard.
Congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron, thanks a lot. Quickly, in a national championship matchup, what is the key to that game?
Well, I think you're seeing the 2 fastest tempos we see in college football on offense with Oregon and with Auburn. All those different playmakers, I think they match up so well against each other. You talk about Cam Newton, Michael Dyer, Ontario McCaleb, Mario Fannin for Auburn. On the flip side, Darren Thomas, LaMichael James, Josh Huff, the true freshman, Kenyon Barner. It goes on and on and on. I think both defenses very underrated. There'll be a lot of speed on the field. Great game.
A little question, we are going to see the matchup that I think we mostly deserve. And the
Test the middle. Lattimore cuts back. First down, South Carolina, out near the 44.
Well, this guy came in with all the credentials as being a program-changing running back, and he really has been that and more. See his cut, the way he slides, changes direction, cuts back.
14 yards in this one, up for 81 yards. And right up the middle it goes again.
Do the little things.
Second down.
If I was South Carolina being down 2 scores, I wouldn't be embarrassed. Play football.
And I don't think Steve Spurrier was.
Was he down?
No, not really.
I thought, I was thinking, was Lattimore down on the play? Was his knee down on the play? What Gene Chizik said to Tracy, we figured we had 2 plays. On the first play, we picked up 8 or 10 yards. And then on the second play, Holloman attempting to knock it down, doesn't.
Darvin Adams went over Stephen Gilmore.
2 disastrous plays for South Carolina. That one, and then the interception on the screen pass.
Now the Gamecocks use a timeout.
Pressure again, same defensive look.
Ace Sanders. Ball comes out of bounds.
Script by Etheridge.
Fair catch at the 9-yard line. Well, the Auburn defense has put a lot of pressure on Stephen Garcia tonight.
Yes, that's really what we've talked about. When you watch tapes of this Auburn defense, their front 4 covers up their weaknesses. Any secondary with that type of pressure can make plays, and these guys are starting to believe and make more and more and more plays. But let's be honest. This Auburn offense, when you put up 400 yards with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, they're at 423 yards.
There goes Michael Dyer out around the left side.
Fake one-way watch. Crisscross. One, hand back the other way.
And a fine play. Michael Dyer out of Little Rock, Arkansas. First down 10.
Wildcat look, both tackles to the right.
And Dyer scoots out across the 30.
And Mosley. And Baran Issa. And let me mention Ryan Pugh. I remember doing Auburn games when Ryan Pugh, as a freshman, the center for this team, was playing offensive tackle.
That's another first down. Well, they're back at the line of scrimmage in a hurry.
Yeah, to run another running play, probably. Here he comes.
Now they're running the clock. Well, Lee Zimba, number 73, 51st start today from Rogers, Arkansas. They have come back with a real passion. He's going to graduate, probably have a career in the NFL, but he said his long-term dream is to come back to Auburn. He wants to become a school teacher, a part-time coach, and a school bus driver. Then he said life is going to be perfect. Dyer.
Well, the story of the game to me has been this South Carolina defensive line. Number 1 in the SEC in sacks. They got pressure early. Remember that? Cam Newton ran right away from it, made the plays. No sacks today, and that's produced those close to 500 yards in offense.
And a first down 10 here. Ryan Pugh will snap it back. Oh, crossbuck again.
Of the Alabama game and talk about Cam Newton. When I went and watched the rebroadcast, I was more impressed by Cam Newton's first half than second half. We all know what he can do when he has the ball and he's on. But when they were going 3 and out, 3 and out, and 3 and out, he trotted to the sideline. He went to work with his offensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn. No theatrics, no yelling at players. He just kept working, kept sawing wood, and it eventually paid off. His teammates saw those actions, and it paid off for that football team.
Here's the sweep. This is McCaleb. Had one of the bigger runs of the year, 70 yards, when they defeated LSU.
And remember, this is a read. This ball could stay with Cam, and one of the things you talk to the defensive coaches around the league, on every play that Auburn runs, there's a quarterback keep off of it.
We have not spoken with Cam Newton since he was put off limits to the press on November 9th, and the world became one of no comment. If they win, Tracy Wolfson might have a chance to talk to him. At the end of the third quarter, the entire Auburn football team headed to the right off their bench, and for the Auburn fans, a little celebration going on as they lead it 42-14 as we began the fourth quarter. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson. Michael Dyer around the right side, and he's inside the 30. Well, Gene Chizik, defensive coordinator, 3 years for this Auburn team, then part of an unbeaten season here. He took over 2 years ago, and there were a lot of folks, Gary, who didn't think at the time.
Man, a lot of people.
Right?
5-19 at Iowa State. He comes in here. Remember what he's done in 2 years. This is the only SEC coaching staff that has not had one change from last year to this year. They've got 24 seniors. Here's the story of Gene's team. 24 seniors, number one, but a number 4 recruiting class last year. Of course, Cam Newton part of that recruiting class. The combination of those guys and a recruiting class has meshed perfectly with, I think, the most valuable player.
This worked for a touchdown earlier this year.
Cam down here.
And Cody Burns, the former quarterback, who will not throw it, he'll keep it. Cam Newton lined up to the right side. That was against Ole Miss. Third down 2.
And I was about to say, in my 20 years of doing this, he's the most valuable player I've seen on any team. So what he's brought to this football team. Now, all the other stuff off field, there's a lot of discussion there. But how he plays football, magnificent.
Dyer. First down to the 21.
And what's about to happen here now is the Southeastern Conference is going to send a team to the Bowl Championship for the 5th straight year. Back-to-back years, the champion will be 13-0.
Newton has it. Well, just add that to the repertoire. And then, just for good measure,
there's the smile.
Mike Taylor, the line judge. Oh, how good is that?
Keeps it, jumps it, plows forward, and then, sir. And then watch, a little tap.
Oh, yeah, a little tap on the back of the head.
Yep.
Auburn has gone over 500 yards of offense. They were. Now they lost 3.
Nobody really cares what I think, but the discussion here about whether Cam should be playing or not. That rule, that if the player and the school know nothing about it, that someone connected to you can go make you ineligible, needs to be looked at. I mean, do we know? We have to call this man a liar. Basically, we have to call him a liar before we can believe that he knew about it. If he did, I believe it'll eventually come out. But until then, I think you have to take a man in his word.
Rodney Paulk right there. Well, and that leaves open for further discussion, Gary, the whole issue of player benefits for student athletes.
But as Mike Slive said, you can't punish someone because you're afraid of a precedent in the future. You deal with the future in the future. You got to treat this kid fairly. And I think so far, for what people know, this is the fair thing.
He's at wide receiver again, Cody Burns, who was the starter along with Chris Todd for much of the 08 season. That's McCaleb in motion. Here's Burns. Whoops. Well, as we said, he had a real explosion On the national scene against South Carolina, we have seen the gamut of expressions from the very expressive Cameron Newton. And obviously, the emotions we've seen have been expressed in winning circumstances. 48, look at this. More than 87 NCAA teams.
Demoralized, South Carolina is 11 straight running plays.
Until. That was Cody Burns.
I wonder if they were trying to get Cody Burns. There's so much respect for Cody Burns on this staff and his teammates. Came as a quarterback, agreed to move to wide receiver. He said he contemplated whether he should transfer, and he said he wanted to finish his career at Auburn.
McCaleb alongside Newton. Into the corner, Henry Blake, another touchdown.
Attempted pick. Did he get a little piece of him or not? Akeem Augusta that time. It's a fade to the slot, basically. And Cam Newton, the Heisman Trophy winner, is going to take his team on a ride to the national championship.
Have you crowned him, or you got?
Well, I don't see how anybody can vote for anyone else.
I know.
Anyone else. Either vote for him or, as I say, abstain. If you don't like it, just abstain.
It's time for our Geico game recap.
All right, cinch up your seatbelts and wish me luck. Here's the first touchdown of the game. McCaleb from Newton, 7-0. South Carolina answered right back. Garcia with a 25-yard touchdown pass. DeMarco, 7-7. Next, Auburn. Newton with a 5-yard touchdown rush, 14-7. They also got the next one. Adams, a 54-yard touchdown reception. Great drive put together by South Carolina for this touchdown. It's Alshon Jeffrey inside, 21-14. Here is the backbreaker. At the half, Adams, a 51-yard reception on the tip ball to Hail Mary, 28-14 in the third quarter. It was Newton again as he plowed over Antonio Allen, 35-14. Screen pass, pressure up the middle. Josh Bynes intercepted by Tasharvin Bell. And then just a moment ago, Cam Newton, Emory Blake, 49-14. And Cam Newton has thrown for a career high now of 335 yards, 4 touchdown passes. And his total of 6 touchdowns scored equals the mark set by Heisman Trophy winner Danny Werfel, who was coached by Steve Spurrier.
Want me to handle the rest here, Vernon?
Yes.
Okay, go.
I'll take a breath. Take a breath. This one taken, and a lateral goes to the right. This is Connor Shaw, who replaced Garcia in the fourth quarter of the first game between these two. He ran the spread offense in high school. And out to the left, Connor Shaw came on in relief. And after Garcia had fumbled twice in that first game, he threw 2 unfortunate interceptions. For the season now, 68%, 200 yards. 2nd and 1. Ace Sanders. Now let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch, presented by Nissan.
All right, Vernon, Gary. Well, it was a big day for Kellen Moore. 3 touchdown passes, 1 rushing. He's going to be in New York. We know that. And certainly LaMichael James finished with a great day. 134 yards rushing to lead Oregon into the BCS title game. DeMarco Murray prepping for the Big 12 title game. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. First down 10 here. Connor Shaw, handoff. This is Brian Maddox.
South Carolina beat Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee all in the same season.
Shaw escapes the pressure from the backside and breaks that tackle. Foot race and out of bounds. That could draw a flag.
Connor Shaw, as you said, freshman, spread option quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
See that face mask, the straight arm face mask? I think the rules committee ought to look at that.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul.
Number 22 of the day, fan.
One of the great moves I've seen tonight is the guy that's holding the drive marker. He just had to sprint 50 yards. And he's about as good a shape as I am. Here's Shaw.
Nice defense. Oh,
look at this.
Interview. There's our first interview.
The Wolf is listening to Cam Newton. Perfect.
Some Cam gave Tracy some magic liquid here or something.
Trace, what's going on?
Well, Cam Newton having a little fun down here. He made a little mixture of his Gatorade. He said it's the ingredients of champions. He would not tell me what was in it, but he's calling it Cammy Cam juice. I'm going to take a little taste. Not bad, a little sweet for my taste.
How does that compare to the grass? Look at this, look at Cam.
So she has a Les Miles grass and Cam Newton juice.
Connor Shaw out of bounds. This all started when Cam came over. Oh. Now he's watching. Look at Trooper Taylor and Cam Newton.
Can there be anything better than knowing you've won a game and you're going to play in a national championship and you're SEC champions? You got the towel around your neck. Both receivers for South Carolina felt knocked each other down.
Cam Newton, 1 year at Florida. Transferred to Blinn College, actually 2 years at Florida. And then recruited by Curtis Looper, the running back coach and recruiting coordinator. Here's Lanning.
That's the one he needed at the beginning of the second half. Boy, everybody's trying that now.
Oh, good. There's an endorsement.
In the rust-colored sweater, that was Bo Jackson. I'm not quite sure who the second guy was. We know who number 2 is. I don't think we'll see him back on the field unless they just send him out there to take him out to get a round of applause from the Auburn fans.
There's the kick, goes left, maybe too far left. No. Taken by Demond Washington. The first of 6. A toss to McCaleb. Then on the ground for 5 yards. The catch made by Darvin Adams. The tip at halftime, the Hail Mary. And he ran over Antonio Allen and finally Emery Blake. 6 touchdowns accounted for in this ball game and on the field still.
I think it's going to be one play for Cam and then take him off for applause.
Here's the Aflac trivia question. A bonus, who's the backup quarterback? There you go, the handoff to the right side.
Watch Barrett Trotter come in and Cam
there we are.
Go off.
His mom. His coach. Threw for 335, ran for 73. Barrett Trotter, the backup quarterback.
And most likely, there's 24 seniors on this team, and most likely that guy right there is going to be leaving. We're probably seeing his last play in the SEC. Of course, we're going to see him in the national championship game.
And so Barrett Trotter, the sophomore from Birmingham, 6'2", 211. He's seen action in 5 games. This is his 6th, but strictly in a backup role. So for the season, 5 of 8 through the air for 48 yards. That will not be his task now. Keep it on the ground, chew up the clock.
And I'll tell you who also deserves some applause. If we can get our camera on that offensive line. Number 73, Lee Zimba.
Here's
Ryan Pugh. Mike Berry. Baran Isom. There's Zimba right there.
He looks Herculean, doesn't he?
Yep, all seniors. They were part of that team, remember? 36-0 in 2008 at Alabama. They had 4 different offensive coordinators in their career. Toughened them. It toughened them.
And off to Fannin again.
And then the last guy that might be leaving, he's going to be a hot commodity, is that man right there, Gus Malzahn.
Yes.
What he's done at Tulsa and now here at Auburn, putting up over 500 yards in this football game, 26 games, 11 times.
High school coach in Springdale, Arkansas for a while. Hired by Houston Nutt to be the offensive coordinator at Arkansas. Wound up at Tulsa. Here's Trotter. And the pass is complete. That's Derek Winter, number 87. Fannin.
Georgia will be a much improved team next year. Tennessee will be.
Trotter. Oh, dear. From behind, hauled down at the 14-yard.
What that Auburn-Oregon game's going to look like.
No. I'm picking 70 points at least.
Vern, do you want to fly in there and do the scoring?
The Geico recap. I'll just make a token appearance on the other network. Hey, guys, I've been through this before.
You know how they usually do 3 men in the booth? They're going to have 2 play-by-play guys and 1 color guy.
That's right.
Still think early in the game that was the difference in the game.
Fannin, touchdown for the senior.
Out and up, and now what? 589 yards of total offense. Not enough guys on the field.
Yep.
Just relax. Could even take a penalty here and still kick the extra point. They're going to try it without it. They're going to try it with 10.
That's Neil Caudle, who is the 3rd-string quarterback, who is the holder.
They did it with 10.
Yep. It's going your way. Gene Chizik, walk-on at Florida, 1985. Started his career as a high school coach, St. Petersburg, Florida, for a couple of years. Worked his way up, as most do, before he got the head coaching opportunity. Off of Mac Brown's staff. They were the national champions in 05, and Gene ultimately got the job at Iowa State. 2 years, 5-19. Hired by Jay Jacobs in the athletic department. And he and his team are about to complete their 13th victory of the year. This is Snead. Hello. And here is Connor Shaw. Flips it out. Caught.
Gatorade time.
Yes, it is. Gotcha. And shortly after that, Mario Fannin got it. Chizik tried to get away.
They held him down and
they got Trooper Taylor.
Hey,
oh, goodness.
Look at Trooper.
So just a double measure for Trooper Taylor. 2nd down and 7.
I do want to say this for who's ever listening. It's got to be Auburn fans mostly. Remember, this brings it full circle for Auburn fans. 2004, undefeated season. They were the team that was voted out. When I came into this league, Vern, in 2006, I could feel the chip on the shoulder in this conference. They felt they had been dissed. Remember that vote, Michigan, Florida. It looked like Michigan. It became Florida. And since then, 5 straight national championship games, 4 of them victories.
68 seconds to go. Connor Shaw will tuck it and run. Gus Malzahn, the offensive coordinator. Gotcha. Cam Newton. There's a connection around the generation. Pat Dye, Cam Newton. And the team starts to rush the field, but there's still 1 play left.
Well, they're going to put Cam Newton on their shoulders. Look at this.
Mike Berry, Ron Isom, they're the anchors who are holding up Cam Newton. They've got 1 more play to go. See if they can keep him up there.
Remember in the open, Vern, I said that Cam Newton showed them that they didn't have to succumb to the pressure.
across the middle. That's the final game, the play of the game. Player of the game presented by Chick-fil-A, Cam Newton, 335 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, rushed for 73, including 2 TDs.
Well, right now an embrace between the head coach and Cam Newton. And Cam, let me start with you. And this is the first time you've been able to speak in a while. And just talk about how hard it's been for you and the focus you've had to have week in and week out to perform at this level on the field.
I just want to thank God for just blessing me with an unbelievable supporting cast. That's with my family. That's with this team and with this coaching staff. It's the sky's the limit for this team. And it's a lot of guys that's been keeping me focused. And I just want to thank them and thank God first.
And we have to talk about your performance today. 6 total touchdowns to just cap off a tremendous season. And a lot of people will probably say that maybe you don't deserve to win the Heisman because of what happened. What do you say to that?
I'm an SEC champ. That's all that matters. It's some resilient guys on this team. I said that a billion times. But without these guys on this team, I wouldn't have the success that I did. I just want to thank God and thank the players on this team and Coach Chiswick and the whole coach staff for giving me a chance.
SEC champion and on to the national championship, Coach, and you helped guide them there. They started strong today. They finished strong today. What can you say about this team and their resiliency week in and week out?
Tracy, they had a great week of practice. I just knew this would be our best hour. I knew it would be our best hour. I told them that before the game started. I said, this will be your best hour today. They came out fast and they finished the game, and my hat's off to our football team.
Congratulations. Enjoy every minute of it.
Thank you.
This has become an expected celebratory action by Cam Newton, heading toward the student section and the fans to share the victory with all of them. Don't forget, the Jeep postgame show is coming next.
Majestically placed between snow-capped peaks, breathtaking cliffs, and beaches, it is a giant gemstone set in the rich and fertile Emerald Valley. Win the day.